Thank you for being a connoisseur of Cognac Corner and listening to another episode. It's me, your host, Marcus Boston. Please, 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 please share, like, and comment. Let me know what you think. I love feedback on what I can do better, where I can grow, where we can make this thing be what is all it can be. Follow me on IG at Marcus Boston 314. Show page, Cognac Corner. Leave me a comment. Hop in them DMs. Let me know what's going on. Also follow me on Twitter at Marcus Cognac. Show page, Cognac Corner. On the Facebook at Cognac Corner. Let me know. Follow, share. Email me at cognaccorner@gmail with any relationship questions, any thoughts, anything you just want to discuss, any gems I can give you away, any shots I could pour in your cup. If you want to be a guest, also email me, DMs, comment, whatever. Let me know. Get your friends to become connoisseurs as well. So we just make this a bigger family event. So thank you again for being here and enjoy the show.
Fuck up the sippin' Douce, boy, this ain't your daddy yet. He in the Cadillac, me, I'm in the...
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Marcus Boston, and we are on Cognac Corner. And in the house today, we have Sean.
Need a little more volume.
What, Sean?
Need a little more volume in my headphones.
Sean, I have no volume in my headphones. You hear me say anything? No.
Okay.
I'm pretending to listen and listen well. I couldn't introduce the other guests because you want to. Look at Sean Carter. You're Sean Wesley, not Sean Carter. Shit.
Okay, we'll just go with it. We'll just make it work.
Damn,
All right,
we on the budget. I ain't got a check yet.
All right, let's restart it and just go with it.
No, fuck that. Which where we at now? So, sorry, excuse Sean. We have a special guest from the Conspiracy Forum and All Things Combat. Is that correct?
Everything
Combat
yes.
Shit. Jeffrey
That's
Wilson,
your show
everybody.
tonight,
Jeffrey
combat.
Wilson. Ah, shit, I gotta get the applause ready. Hold on, wait. This is how you know it's real.
Golf club?
Yeah, I should be better at this. I keep saying I'll get better every week.
We're all works in progress, brother.
Yeah, some things I should have figured out by now.
Yeah.
That's what that's Jeffrey Wilson, everybody. Jeffrey Wilson. Yes, hello. How you doing, sir?
I am very well, sir. Every day above ground's a good day.
Yeah, I'm glad you make it down to Gran Cru in Soulard at 1013 Ann Avenue, 63104.
My pleasure. Good to see my man Sean Wesley, good friend.
What's up, big guy?
Go back quite a minute.
Sean full of shit. Sean Wesley. Ooh, I tell you, boy, I'm writing a memoir. You like Quincy Jones, I'm telling all the shit. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jeffrey. Let us get to know you. Let the connoisseur get to know Jeffrey Wilson.
Yes, let's do it. Peel back the layers.
Yeah, so, Sean Wesley, I apologize. And you are also a podcaster as well.
I am.
With the Conspiracy Forums and Everything Combat.
Yes, sir.
Damn. Like, I was listening to one episode, I got into the vaccine conversation. I said, man, they real spicy on this. This is a real spicy conversation.
We go as the kids say, hard in the paint, my friend.
I agree. Yeah, that you do. That is
we don't
right.
play.
So, what got you into conspiracy theory? How did we get here?
Man, old school. Back in the day, man, I was like maybe 15 or 16. I was just sitting home one night watching cable TV, A&E, and this documentary called Reasonable Doubt came on, and it was on the assassination of John Kennedy, and that just started it right there. Because once I kind of realized what went down in that situation, as a young man, it really kind of did we can cuss, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It was kind of a mind fuck. So that kind of opened the Pandora's box into like a great many of other things, which we talk about on the show, etc. But yeah, that's when it started. JFK.
Damn. What the funny part is, when you said Reasonable Doubt, I was like, oh, that's a great album.
What's that?
When you said Reasonable Doubt, I thought Jay-Z.
Oh,
that's a great album.
One of the dopest.
You said, oh, JFK. I said, oh, okay. I said, oh, gee, that's great. I said, oh, that's not talking about. Sir. I said, oh, wow. I should be ashamed of myself.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's good. What's been like what has been the episode with the hotness? Like, what was the one that was that one?
I mean, I'm not to say. I mean, I'm not gonna pat myself. They're all pretty dope. They're all pretty.
Break your own trying to punch stuff.
Yeah, but it's. I mean, there's so much. Again, once you get down this rabbit hole, there's so many layers. So it's like one. It's almost like again the Pandora's box. Like one box leads to the next, So, I mean, obviously JFK's, goes down in conspiracy lore. You got 9/11, of course.
Yeah.
The vaccine conversation is very, very hot topic right now. People are being deplatformed and censored talking about vaccines, and it's a very controversial subject. So, we go there, man. We've had on former Navy SEALs, former Russian Spetsnaz. I mean, we've had some pretty interesting conversations. So to pick one necessarily, it's almost like picking your favorite song. It's like, man, come on now.
I mean, I think that's the problem is right now. You done had too many of those.
I ain't had too much of nothing. But the problem is, it was fine till Sean talking about I can't hear no sound. We ain't had sound in 6 weeks. Now you know we ain't no sound.
This is cigar talk, so it's people like that. This is cigar talk at the crew.
Yes, sir.
So Sean,
Yo,
what is your favorite conspiracy theory? What do you think?
my favorite conspiracy theory. Man, that's a good question. I never really thought about it. I will say this, though. I will say this. I go back to the 60s. If you do your homework in history, everything that happened in the 60s, when it comes to assassinations, they all connect together. In one way or another, they are connected. We may not never know the truth to that. And we all know we'll never know the truth. It's hidden. It's in documents, but buried. Only people who committed those acts know the truth, and it's going to be hidden from us. But I do believe that all those things all came out together.
Oh yeah, everything's connected. Life is a lot more gray than it is black and white. But you get paid by convince people that shit is black and white. That's how you convince. I got convinced you that life is simple and it's not complicated. Give me your money. Gotcha.
Well, I mean, that's a thing we talk about on the Conspiracy Farm, the power of the media to do that very thing, to convince you that it is black and white. And when you talk about 4 or 5 corporations that own hundreds and hundreds of basically all the media that we consume, you got a handful of people creating the narrative. And when they create the narrative, they then in turn create how you perceive what's going on, unless you start going towards other alternative sources of news.
That's why it's called programming.
Exactly.
They just do. They will it right in front of you. Like I say, the greatest trick the devil ever did was convince you there ain't no devil.
Right.
It's called programming. They use these words for a reason. It's like hiding in plain sight. We're not. It's like what 46. What's that? 45 does. He's like, look, what y'all gonna do? I'm gonna lie to your face and I'm gonna get this fucking plane. No collusion. He go like, fuck yeah, what y'all gonna do to me? I'm playing. This ain't. I don't take this serious. I didn't want this job. Y'all gave me the keys. So right. Like, fuck it. I'll drive this bitch over a cliff. I'll be alright. But it's all right in front of you. Like, this ain't surprising. Do the history. Most civilizations.
But a lot of people, it would be very hard pressed to convince certain people that shite.
You know we on a budget.
That it is that simple, and that, you know what I mean? It's hard to convince people, man. Going back to the Matrix, you got your blue pill folks and you got your red pill folks. Yeah.
Which one was the freedom pill?
The freedom pill?
Which one woke them up? What was
the red one.
The red one?
Yeah.
Damn. R.I.P.
Red pill all day, dude.
Yeah. That's a good one.
But again, I mean, it's a much larger conversation, but you have a lot of people who are, convinced. I mean, fuck, we got flat earthers out there, dog. Like,
Sean, can you pass me that beautiful bottle of cognac?
No, wait.
Sit back, relax, catch contact, sip the cognac. Woo!
Jeff,
hot mic. We got hot mics in this bitch.
We ain't got no budget. You keep fucking up my groceries.
My man is on round, 4.5?
This is a nice afternoon.
That's all right. It is a nice 80-degree day out.
It feels good in here.
Oh, shit, my bad, dude. I don't want to break your shit.
Boy, look, I'm putting you on hold on the yak till we're done.
Hey.
Who's on Marcus Watch over here? Anybody on Marcus Watch? Who's on Marcus Watch?
Right?
I'm on Marcus Watch.
I get it.
But no, you can think about, conspiracy theories is kind of like relationships, actually, too, in a sense.
In what way, sir?
Because,
you guys like to go in on relationships. I listen to obviously a lot of your archive episodes.
We coming for you, Jeff. Don't worry
about it. You guys like having those Oprah moments on here and shit.
We're going for it.
I'm with it. I'm with it, though. I'm with it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sean.
But no, it's just, it's always a theory, because, like they say, most women are one way. So you may get like the women from Beverly Hills are all one way, the girls from the country are one way. Those are all theories.
No, absolutely not. That's not true. Human beings are very nuanced. No human, they're not like they're like snowflakes. Not literally, but we're all different in certain.
Laces, no.
But
Or
some
fingerprints.
People, but some people, if you come from a different part of the country, some people don't realize that,
No, hell no.
and they think everybody's the same. You know, think about that. Some people think,
Oh no, without a doubt.
you know, it's just a theory, but they don't know no difference. They're not educated.
Right, right. Well, and you know, we're all products of our own environment, so it's like it depends on where you're from. You know, if you've traveled, like seen the world, and you know, there's, like I said, there's nuances to humanity. But if you're straight from Arnold your whole life, you probably have a certain one-dimensional view of the world.
Yeah. I agree with that. You know, I like to think, you know, it's like being spiritual and religion. They're not the same things, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
you can have a strong spiritual standard. That don't mean I'm going to go to the institution and give my tithes. So it's like you have to have some you gotta be strength in what you don't know and be okay to evolve your identity. I think people get attached to identity to where, and because who gave them the identity, they don't want to grow or move forward. So like I know I'd rather live in this lie than figure out the truth. Now the person that told me this is a liar. You know.
I mean, a huge term you use there is attached. People are just very attached. Just generally speaking, I heard you guys again talking about relationships, etc. And it's just weird, you know. 60% of marriages end in divorce. You know, would you ever jump out of a plane with those statistics? You know, 4 times out of 10, your chute is going to open up. You're like, hell no. Yeah. But we jump in. I mean, that's kind of a sidetrack. But I mean, relationships are tough, man. I mean, it's just not just finding that right person, but finding that right self-actualized person. This notion of like, this person makes me happy, this person completes me. That's just a big red flag for a thirsty motherfucker right there. That's because, you know, obviously not to get all existential. That shit comes from inside. I'm dope, you're dope, and together we share our dopeness.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
But ultimately, you just see all the time, it's like, you know, I have dude friends who just can't be fucking single. I know women who just can't be fucking single. Some of the best time you can have is by yourself and finding out who the fuck you are. Because, you know, so many of our failed relationships come out of a lot of our drama, our fears, you know, et cetera, as opposed to meeting that person that complements your dopeness.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. Sometimes we'll sacrifice a lot of happiness based on aesthetics. You know, just because she looks a certain way, but you get to know him, like, this is horrible. Like, it just shatters almost. Like, sometimes you think a person in your head is more valuable than who they really are. Like, damn, she bad, but like, once you get to a level where like you need more than just physical to make you happy, you gotta have this kind of ability to have a conversation. You're like, you watch what? You do who? I said, damn.
Well, and again, it comes back to that attachment. I mean, again, some relationships end, and then dude comes in or girl comes in and blows people away. They get fired from a 30-year job, and they blow because they've attached themselves. They defined who they are by that relationship or that job, etc.
Yes, that's true.
And their inability to embrace the most basic law of physics, the most immutable law of the universe, is change. Mm-hmm. And so the more you're attached to shit, not to get all Buddhist, but the more you suffer when that goes away.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. You got to go back almost like a religion or Bruce Lee. You know, he always talked about fixed positions being solidifying that which was once fluid. Yeah. So you just got to be able to stay in the flow, dude. Be water, my friend.
Yeah.
I like that. I like the way he looks at things.
Yeah. Captain Positivity over here, Sean Wesley. I start my day with this man's quotes, dude. He's like Reverend Run in the bathtub and shit.
And truthfully, the culture, I read other people's stuff, and it makes me think about life. It makes me think about things, where I'm at, where I'm going, and I'm impacting some people. I'm sure I am, and I'm sure I'm getting my doubters, which is cool too. I'm cool with that. I'm thick-skinned, so it doesn't bother me. But at the end of the day, it doesn't. Thank you. That's much better. At the end of the day, it doesn't really bother me what people think or feel, as long as I'm doing what makes me happy. You know, I like having that impact on people. You know, because I wasn't supposed to be where I'm at right now, doing what I'm doing.
Right.
I'm just rolling with it.
That's it.
I just do what I do, and I put it out there. And it works.
Well, I mean, you're of that philosophy, and I'm the same way, and I'm assuming you are too. I mean, there just are no failures, man. We've lived long enough where there's ups and downs, and some people define themselves by their successes. Some people define themselves by their failures. But failure, I hate even using that word, because they're just literally opportunities to learn.
Yes.
You just didn't bob when you should have weaved. So it's like, all right, next time. It's just a learning experience. But when you look at failures, like, all right, fuck, I'm done, dude. I knew I couldn't do it. There's like a million reasons to wave the white flag, but when you have that intestinal fortitude of like, all right, dude, let me just regroup on this. Yeah. This failure doesn't define me, et cetera, et cetera. That's the fork in the road of people who are successful and not successful.
Yeah.
You know what? You know, when people ask me, oh, you hang out at the cigar shop now. But for me, it's defined me a lot because I'm around men and women. They just got their own way. Everybody sits back, they chill, they talk, they discuss everything, top to bottom, and they leave it here. Nobody's even trying to beat each other up. Nobody's pissed off at each other. We chop it up. We smoke our nice sticks, drink our yak. At the end of the day, it's left here. But you see the beauty of everybody just doing their thing.
Chilling.
And that's why I enjoy that, you take time out of your schedule to do, this on location pod. And it meant a lot when Jeff hit me up. I'm like, oh, wow, Jeff. So I secretly idolized him. He just didn't know it. But
oh, please.
I watch his stuff, and I'm from the MMA world. So I see a lot. I just don't say nothing. I'm like, okay. There's a couple of guys doing their thing out there, a couple of females in their pods. I'm like, okay. But, when Jeff hit me up, I'm like, I got right on it. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. But, it's a learning experience. I want to learn.
Yeah.
I like what we're doing. I like the energy. I like where it's going. It's positive.
That's all. That's really my psychology behind hitting you up. I'm like, our podcast is literally global, man. Over 100 countries, millions of listeners. But you know what I mean? I want to lock down my hometown, Quad Cities. I want to come, this is kind of my second home, St. Louis. I want to spread that love. That's why I was on We Are Live last week. I'm on the Brothers on whatever. So I want to be able to spread that. And because I'm a fan of you too, bro. So seeing your evolution, like I said, I'm not fucking with you when I say like Captain Positivity shit. That's, going. Our biology is, our belief is our biology. It dictates our body. When you stay positive, your body will respond to that shit. When you're all negative, cortisol and all that other shit, it fucks up your body. So when I was seeing what you were doing, bro, and I saw you were having a podcast going, I mean, I can only just support that shit. I mean, even if I'm not here on the show, I applaud you guys just doing what you're doing, especially when we were talking about off air. Yeah. Just trying to create that tribe, man, that local St. Louis, the Soulardians, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of local love. That's what I was saying before, man. There's a lot of local love and a lot of these. You don't have to be a huge podcast. You can just lock down your community and your tribe and shit, dude. So I'm happy to be here. And thank you guys for accepting. When I asked to be on, you said, hell yeah.
I said, let's get it. Let's go for it. I lead with everything with diversity and inclusion. So I always want to learn and evolve and test theories and thoughts to find something different.
Without a doubt.
Steel sharpens steel.
Exactly.
And why are we talking about steel? This whole Game of Thrones shit. Okay, I'm gonna make a hard and a right turn. I'm embarrassed to say I'm watching this, and now I'm at season 3, episode 8. This is stupid. Like the women that naked are not my type of women. I like a little more curvy in my women. I'm like, there's a lot of nakedness. Ain't my cup of tea. This was not. It wasn't looking for my vote.
Well, I mean, clearly the grade of the naked women isn't what puts the show over, because I have millions of people will disagree with you. I mean, it's just one of those. I mean, it's one of those like. I mean, I've actually met human beings, grown ass people who've never seen Star Wars, who've never seen Lord of the Rings. I mean, sometimes some people it's just not their thing. You know what I mean? Everybody has their lane. There's trillions of lanes for everybody to jump in. It's not for everybody. You know what I mean? I fell off on season, what was I saying, 3 or something?
Yeah.
I just can't even jump in now because I'll just be one of them cats like, who's that? Why is she doing that? I thought she was.
I hate watching. I actually hate watching Game of Thrones.
I hate watching.
I am able to admit I hate watching the fuck out of that shit. And I be sitting there just doing shit, watching like, why am I watching this stupid shit? Why shit? I cut his hand off. I said, God damn.
I mean, I look at it like I was talking to somebody about The Godfather the other day, and there's other people who've never seen the fucking Godfather. I'm like, you need to just get your life together, man.
What are you doing?
But it's like I was telling somebody, I'm like, it's a great historical breakdown of how the mafia. I mean, the government's been using the mafia since back in Lucky Luciano days and all that other shit. Yeah. So it's a great. I mean, even though it's fictional, it's a great, almost fictional historical breakdown of how the mafia came over here. These certain families grew from selling olive oil and running numbers and shit, and grew into where Michael Corleone was in the third movie, trying to go legit politics, running for office and shit. So from that, I mean, I'm a history guy anyway, but it's fascinating as fuck, man. But some people just, don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They'd rather keep up with the Kardashians. Not knocking their hustle, but,
Fuck them too.
People just,
Fuck, that's just horrible. Man,
it's the dumbing down of society,
but
dude.
See, but it's down. I mean, it's not your positivity. It's not your focus. It's not your desire. But some people, that's what drives them. That's what makes us all unique people.
For sure. But it almost what's the word? It almost exacerbates what we're talking about I'm defined by my external shit, my cell phone, how big my ass is, my tits are. You know what I mean? They're running business and all that shit. I get it. And I'm not even knocking that hustle because they're smashing it like that. But these young, impressionable girls who they're already fucked anyway when they come out and they're looking at Vogue. I don't look like that. And now the Kardashians are like, you know, I mean, all 5 of them or whatever. You got Kaylee, the first billionaire. I mean, it's just like they're setting the bar really high. And these girls are like, I'm not shit unless I'm keeping up with the Kardashians, which is fucked.
$900 million.
Huh?
I was born with $999 million. I need $1 million.
Well, you know,
Get the,
you gotta be your own person. You can't let stuff like that influence you. I mean, a lot of people are like that, though. You know, I keep it simple. You know, I don't. People think, oh, you're doing this and doing that. No, I'm just doing basic stuff. I'm not doing anything out of the ordinary. It's just I'm comfortable in my own skin, who I am, and what I am, and where I'm going. But that comes from watching my parents hustle. I watched my parents not have it, and I watched them get it. But I also know where my mother was happiest. And my mother was happiest when she didn't have all of it.
Right.
She was happy.
I mean, there's a larger conversation to that, man. I've traveled a little bit, been to some third world spots, and even you just watch certain third world places where they ain't got shit but family and a meal, and look, they're some of the happiest motherfuckers in the world. I'm not saying their whole life is like that, but they embrace that basic shit of just the essences. They don't need a cell phone. They don't need to have. It's just the basic shit that they understand, and that's almost what I'm saying is those kind of projections of what success is, and that granted that is some form of success. People think like I'm not successful unless I'm a millionaire, unless I am like a Kardashian. When in fact, it's the simple shit, man. It's family, it's love, it's like you said, it's less is more in my opinion. Because I mean, you know a lot of celebrities. We probably met several celebrities in our time, and you meet them and you get to know them. And I was actually thinking the other day. I mean, this is not a groundbreaking thought, but I'm like, why are all these cats overdosing, man, and dying? These guys got the world and money and fame, but it's like it's never enough. No. You know what I mean? It's never enough. It's never the physical shit that defines them. They're usually still chasing those demons of, I just wish my fucking dad or mom would say they're proud of me. You know what I mean? On top of the world,
but they don't get it. Do you know what? I didn't cut you off, but
no, that's not.
It's important because a lot of people don't realize that, and I've been very blessed to be around a lot of major athletes. I won't drop no names ever because they're still my friends to this day, but some of them were the most down-to-earth, dopest people that you would ever meet. But you know what? They have demons. They're dealing with stuff just like we are. But unfortunately, because of their career and being spotlighted, they never get a chance to actually enjoy that side of their life. You know,
because society puts them on that standard, like, oh no, you can't have any, bad hat or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's why those PR guys get a hold and they're like, all right, you're gonna say this in the interview, you're not gonna say this, or you know what I mean? It's fucked up, but it's what it is. When you get to that point where you're a brand and you got people like scripting it's just a whole nother beast then. But
I'm being me.
For sure.
I watch my words very wisely, but I'm still gonna be me. Because at the end of the day, you gotta make yourself happy, and like us on this show, we're just ourselves. Either you like it or you don't. That's why it's cigar talk.
Right.
That's why it's positive energy. We're just putting out good vibes to people. Some people may not like the vibe. Some people might even understand the vibe. But you know what? We know numbers, and a lot of people are feeling it and they're liking it.
Right.
We're not putting people down. We're just talking about what comes to our minds, what we think, what we feel. And it's touching people. I have some people out there right now just every day, they're constantly, and I see a young lady who has thousands of hits and thousands of likes on her stuff, on her podcast. You know what? And she's deep rooted into what I'm doing. I put her name out. Her name is Heather. And Heather watches everything we're doing. And she's behind what we're doing. But she's connecting us with other people through her stuff. And I didn't even ask her. We went to a hockey game one time just to chop it up and talk. We talked business, whole hockey game. Just has her stuff together, So that's where we're at right here. I think that we are setting a new standard. And we're going to have people who are afraid to come out and speak or act on how they feel, what they think, because they're afraid nobody was going to like it. No, be yourself. Be your own positive person. Be your own energy.
When you touched on something huge, man. I mean, as you know, I'm an actor, a voiceover actor, been in SAG for like 10 years. And in the last 10, 15 years, they've created a whole new kind of segment of media called new media, which is online shit. not to say TV or radio is dead, but more and more people are getting their stuff from handheld, from, customized, from, you don't have to buy $60 to get 500 channels. You can now just get 5 or 6. Everything is very customized. People are specifically going to specific things to get their news, their information, and their entertainment. Enter you guys, enter us, these different formats of podcasts. That's where people are going to get their stuff from anymore. The old kind of paradigm of, channel 4, 6, and 8 obviously has been gone for, exactly. Yeah. And like what I was saying before, options, man. People have so many options now. I mean, there's fucking knitting podcasts, you know what I mean? There's local St. Louis podcasts, there's global, there's Joe Rogan. I mean, there's something for everyone. So, of the 7 billion people on the planet, man, think about the numbers. Just even getting 1% of that, you're talking about some huge numbers. So it's like, again, keep doing what you guys are doing and carving that niche out, man, because there's a lane for everyone.
So how is, like, I know for me, with all this podcast hustling and trying to maintain a job, how is dating? What kind of women do you come across? You come across the ones that are like, what is that? What are you doing? I don't. So and
see, I sense that like a fart in the car, and they don't. I mean, not to knock them. I mean, there's like different lanes. I won't. You're not even on the list of people to really fuck with if I can't have a conversation with you. You know what I mean? For me,
9 to 5. And then
well, I mean, it's all quality, dude. It's not quantity anymore. You know what I mean? We've all done our share of smashing, et cetera. And as we get older, obviously, we kind of curtail that list of who's kind of acceptable to be. You know what I mean? So it's like dude. I've been single for a hot minute, dude. That's really by design, dude.
I got him beat.
Beat what?
As far as how long single?
About being single.
But I mean, for me, again, it's quality, dude, because I've tried to, I mean, I don't mean to say this to sound corny or new age. I've really tried to elevate my consciousness as far as my standard of life, my quality of life, what I expect from a woman, et cetera, et cetera. And as a part of that is sex, smashing, whatever the fuck you want to call it. For me, now understanding what that really, I mean, that is a huge exchange of energy when you're engaging in coitus with another female. So it's like these people who are doing it frivolously, you're bringing in other people's energies, dude. When you're just smashing left and right, I mean, for me, that's, people could completely disagree, and I particularly don't give a fuck. But for me, that's my rationalization, dude. I have to be able to resonate with your energy.
Yes.
To be able to go to that level.
Jeff, I feel like you just judged me.
It is not a judgment at all. That wasn't in no way because there's, I mean, people out there like that. I said the other day, if I had $1, and I'm not saying this again like I'm the shit, if I had $1 for all the married women who hit on me or married dude friends who I know are out there smashing other people, I'd be wealthy. You know what I mean? And this is why 60% of marriages end in divorce. And I sense that kind of unhappiness in people and all that shit. And again, people just can't be single. They would rather go through legal process or whatever, marry someone who they're completely unhappy with and all that other shit, and then pump out fucking kids, than just be single.
Yeah, you gotta think about it. And I have a ton of female friends. I've said it before in other podcasts we've done.
You are the Hugh Hefner of St. Louis, my friend.
I know. Man, I'm not. I wish.
I've known Sean for a hot minute, dude. Every time, hey Jeff, here's a, hey Jeff.
I have a lot of cool
so
friends.
crazy. I don't even talk about it.
Exactly. He's always been that dude, though. Very, very close to the vest. Sean is with his shit. I agree, sir. You have a lot of female friends.
I have a lot but they're amazing people. But I don't disrespect none of them.
I'm with it.
And I treat them like I do. I got a lot of fellas I'm cool with too. I just separate everybody differently. But women, they're a different breed nowadays. You can't.
They've kind of always been, but yeah, I got you.
But it's how you come about it with them, So it's cool hanging out with them, being chill with them, and having that company. But when it comes to the dating and it comes to that deep relationship, that's when things change.
Like Chris Rock said, you're never dating that person, you're dating their representative. So 3 months down the line, you meet that other person. And I swear, dude, when it comes to, I'm going to jack a couple people's stand-up comedy right now. Bill Burr talking about an epidemic of gold-digging whores. And you got cats like Patrice O'Neal, and we've all seen this. We have women who we thought were the shit. And this is when I talk about non-self-actualized women. A self-actualized woman is like, baby, you going out? Cool. Have a great time with your boys. There's just really no energy about, oh, is he cheating, et cetera, et cetera. You have these other women who play that cool role, and the moment they get that dude, they slowly chip away at the sexy or the dopeness, whatever that was, to bring them down to just a fucking punk motherfucker. The things that, you know what I'm saying? The thing that attracted them to him she has to get rid of, because then he goes out and takes that swag to the other world. Or somebody else might see how dope you are and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, dude, that's my dude. He's got fucking
Yeah.
juice like that.
Yeah.
She has to break that down to make it. Because then at the end of the day, what happens 8 months later? Motherfucker, you ain't shit. You ain't shit.
But you
And
know,
they let that happen. They let that happen.
at the end of the day,
That's why at the end of Patrice O'Neal, go watch Elephant in the Room. Basically, what he said was, I have to keep my swag, because if I don't keep my swag, then you're not going to find me sexy anymore.
yeah, I'm not gonna give up my swag for nobody. Bring it back the other way, because I lost you.
I lost you, sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Right. Yeah, bring it back a little bit more for me. But you can't lose that swag of who you are as a person. And I'm not going to give up my swag for nobody. You know, I enjoy bike riding. I enjoy buying a Jeep just to go to different trails, but I enjoy my lifting. You know, I'm an avid amateur photographer. I got a lot of things I like to do. I'm out here I'm out here doing dumb stuff. I'm doing things that are really just basic and chill that are interesting.
That you like to do.
And I will give up my time to do other things with females, but I'm not giving up who I am for no one. The only person I'm gonna give something up for, if my son needs something, I'll adjust to that. My grandkids.
Right. Well, and when you see that manifest, it's a slow creep.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you gonna go do the podcast today, Sean? Baby, I do the podcast every Monday and shit. Oh, you gonna okay? We'll go ahead and just slowly.
Oh, yeah.
Now she want me to do the podcast, and then maybe making you late for. It's just I've seen it, dude. And I'm not saying this as some bitter motherfucker, because I love women, I love relationships, I love love. Like I said, you learn from the mistakes, learn from the quote unquote failures. But it's people are so thirsty, man, and you see it. These ladies' nights out. I've been a bartender for a while. You've seen the clubs. These ladies' nights out when they get their fucking goblets of wine, all haven't worked a fucking day in the last 6 years, just talking shit about the man who's putting food on the table, and then go out and get fucked by some strange dude. Come home smelling like foreign dick and shit. I've seen it all too much, dude.
I've been the strange guy.
And some of them, dude, when they get out and they decide to go they don't give up. They don't know. We ain't gonna talk tomorrow, dude. I'm trying to get hooked.
Man, I'm like, look at God. Won't he do it?
You know, it's so crazy. You know, I guess I just don't have to deal with that, because
I'm just single, brother.
I won't put myself in that situation. You know.
But sometimes they don't even know they're in that situation, man. I mean,
who's worse, you think, nowadays, male or females?
I mean, there's no real Olympics of cheating. You know what I mean? Both sides are just straight scandalous. You know what I mean?
I think men cheat because we stupid. Women cheat because they mad at us.
I agree.
So
I agree.
Men cheat for ego. Women cheat for emo.
Well, exactly.
But if you come correct,
don't give her a reason to cheat. She won't have to. But if she really don't want to, but she will. She has to. You know, we need to do it because she winked at us.
And the links they will do to cover that, and dudes do it too. But I date women, so it's like I don't know how dudes, the links they will go through to cover that shit up. Not even just from my experience, just hearing dudes like, it's insane. Like you said, some dudes are just like, man, I had no fucking idea that my wife was face down, having motherfuckers doing blow off her ass, and you know what I mean? Because when they go grimy, they go grimy.
Yeah, they do. I can testify.
And the dudes are like, you're not talking about my wife. Yes, your motherfucking wife, dude.
Susan McKenzie. Yeah. She nasty.
Yes.
She's so nasty, you don't understand.
She had a tongue full of booty hole at 10:30.
All my student loans, too. She's so nasty.
But then you have your dope ones, dude. Again, the invert, the opposite. You have just dope ones who will hold a motherfucker down. They're out there. They're totally out there. So I'm not saying this. I'm not saying like I'm not a misogynist woman hater. I've seen the game play out, and there's some grimy men and women, and there's dope men and women too. You know what? You can't have the yin without the yang.
No, you gotta have
Well, this is good cigar talk right here, boy.
You gotta go through your fires, man. Like either you're very patient and lonely, or get in the game and take your motherfucking wounds. Because you're gonna have to take your bullshit to find the person you gotta be with. I've seen it. I've seen people that have taken I'm patient, I'm gonna wait, and they finally show up. You wasted 15 years waiting, and you ain't got no fucking nothing to talk about because you've been sitting still. Or
you ain't got nothing to talk about. But you have straight peace of mind though. You haven't fucking gone nuts.
Also, you have 15 lonely peace of mind years. How much mind you need with your lonely ass? Now you best about it. We gonna talk about what you been doing, being lonely, keep my peace of mind. Piece of shit. What the fuck you been doing? Beat your ass out.
That don't mean he can't. That don't mean cats can't date and still experience life. It's about. Again, it's about having a standard, dude. To bring, look, hot and all those. There are certain things that will get you in the room. what keeps you in the fucking room, that sustains like our attention, is just some next level. For me, it's some not next level. Like you got to fucking
I say,
shoot
damn,
$100
Jedi
bills out
Knight.
of your
I'm
ass.
like, shit. All right, Thanos. Goddamn. Are you happy now?
No, it's not even like that, dude. Again, less is more. It's not complicated. You don't really have to come splitting atoms and shit. Just be like you were saying, just be a golden rule, motherfucker. That's how I am. Just treat other people how you want to be treated.
Yep.
Don't trip on my life or my profession or make it a threat and like make me have to choose between going to work and you. I mean, just simple shit, man. Just be there for me, and I'm gonna make sure we be living in the effing lap of luxury. It's a method, dude.
That's the way I look at it is, a friend of mine, Sunday, we were going to come up here and hang out and watch the hockey game. And she hit me up and she's like, hey, my girlfriend got tickets to the game, and she was worried about me being upset and mad. And first of all, we're friends, we're homies. Go enjoy that game. It's a playoff game.
Hell yeah.
Go do you. But this young lady was grateful, like, oh, thank you. That's keeping you on up. When you got real people around you, that's what you get in return.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that person, first of all, was concerned about how I would take her. But, my reply back was, okay, if I'm a fella, and like all of a sudden we're sitting here chopping it up and somebody says, hey, Sean, Joe, I got some tickets for the ball game. I was with a girl tonight. I shouldn't be afraid to call her like, hey, I'm going to go to the guys tonight.
Right.
I'm like, shit, I'll let her know, hey, can we get together later on? She should be cool with it.
Should be. But again, that's it. Is she so?
A lot of people, my friends are like that. They're chill like that. They don't trip.
Right. Well, because they don't filter that shit through their own insecurity. Yeah. Fuck, go do it, dude. Holler at me when you're done.
You can't ignore the red flags, man.
Huh?
I think people sometimes we ignore red flags.
We do.
Not everybody's like that though.
I mean, but I have. Fuck, dude. I mean, that's part of the learning curve is ignoring. But in my early 20s, I'm just thirsty. I got a hot girlfriend, dude. Look what I can do, and then pay the fucking consequences later. Yeah, but again, that's big.
Nasty at a cost.
Huh?
She nasty at a cost, man.
Nasty at a cost. Right.
See, I mean, but I guess I'll go against the vibe because I guess I'm blessed, like lucky, fortunate.
Here we go, motherfucker. King Midas down here. God damn.
You dodged some bullets. It's all good.
I've been fortunate, but it is what it is.
Right.
But then again, I got some out there to be completely negative. I don't always win. Trust me.
Hey, you said it the other day on
I
one of
don't
the shows.
always
Sean
win.
said a lot of those things.
You gotta be willing to take the L's, dude.
Yeah,
you
I
gotta
got
be
some
willing.
L's. I got some L's.
We all
Once
do.
you accept the L, that's when you stop losing. When you accept that L,
Yeah.
Because you don't. Ideally, you don't keep making that same fucking mistake. You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully.
Again, well, I mean, dudes have to be self-actualized just like women. You know what I mean? Understand what you said a minute ago about why women cheat. Of course, it's not a monolithic statement. Here's why all of them cheat, but a lot of the time it's because of that emotional disconnect. Yes, baby, we live in a fucking $500,000 house. My credit card is on fucking fleek and all this other shit, but I don't even know who the fuck you are anymore. Type shit. This is why I'm getting face fucked down at the local J Corner or whatever the fuck bar and shit. It happens, dude. Pardon my language, but it happens.
And it does happen.
Yeah, it does.
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
I've seen it.
But
Dude, one of my dope photography things was a job at the Playboy Mansion, dude. And that's where I met Shock G and shit. I was the only one with the camera, and I'm telling you that grotto is exactly what the fuck they say. Like, I knew cats I was with were married, and it was just...
I throw it all away.
Zero fucks were given.
Throw it all
and
away.
for the record, I didn't do shit. I wound up having a little tiff with Mike. I'm telling you now, 10 years later, I didn't do shit. I could. Could have, dude. Could have.
See, I just play it chill. I was
out of there by 12:30, but
I couldn't do it.
God no, he can't.
No, if I was before I turned, when I hit 38, I kind of slowed down with all that.
What?
Acting a fool.
Just wilding
Oh,
out.
I got time. I got 3 more years. Good. I'm gonna go ahead.
Oh shit,
Double
this
down.
cat's still wilding out at 60, bro.
Well, let me get no check, buddy. I snip all. Be a property.
So I'm saying, like, we come down to the cigar shop, have cigar talk, and people wonder what's discussed down there, what's said. In actuality, we're not doing anything. Just talking about life and things that happen. They're not made up stories. They're not fabricated stories. It's just things that we experience or that we see or that we know about.
Well, as everybody says, everybody has a book in them. Like, you know what I mean?
Everybody
Everybody's
has
got
a
some
book.
wild ass shit that they done been through. That's pretty compelling. That's, again, why podcasts are so dope. Some of them, you know, are doper than others, obviously, but it's like some people just have super compelling stories that are simple, like you said, that people can relate to.
Yeah.
That's true.
It doesn't have to be, again, everybody's like, man, I got to have 5 million listeners. They're like, dude, like none of that, like Joe Rogan or whatever the top flight cats, like none of them started like that. But I mean, they grew into something. But literally, I mean, these are just compelling stories. Like with Joe, that's literally one of my favorite podcasts. Like he's had on cats, you know, they're talking about shit I'm into, ancient civilizations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just, you know, thinking out of the box type shit.
He has diversity and inclusion. That's why he's winning.
Yeah, for sure. And then you can't, you think of Joe like, man, I don't want to listen to an MMA podcast like the last fucking thing that is. It's just a straight MMA podcast.
You gotta find those. You gotta search for those.
All kinds of shit. I mean, you talk, you know, have crazy Alex Jones on there and shit, talking about human pig hybrids.
I like the one with Killer Mike was dope.
Yeah, dude.
Kevin Hart was dope.
I've hit up Killer Mike to come on our shit, and he has declined to answer so far. But I've hit up Killer a couple
Let's think
times.
about that.
Yeah.
What's that?
So I see you chopped up with Pascal before.
Yeah, man.
He's doing this thing.
He is, dude. Again, not carving out his niche in the loo, dude. Carving out his niche in the loo.
Making his moves. I watched him sing years ago back down at Bobby's in Valley Park. Oh, that man has some talent.
Well, that's the thing what he's doing, man, with that variety. You know, one of our conversations was on Everything Combat was with Eric Bischoff, former WCW head.
Yeah.
So we were talking about when WCW got bought, it was bought for like pennies on the dollar, but Chris Jericho in the documentary was like, man, if I knew it was that cheap, I would have bought it. But he had no TV deal. Now, 5, 10, 15 years later, you don't need TV deals. This shit right here, the internet, as long as you have a brand and a following, you can create numbers and generate money.
Yes, you can.
So it's just, the game is completely done changed. So what Pascal is doing is literally carving out that niche right here, doing crazy numbers. And he doesn't have to be in a studio in LA or in New York or whatever. He's got a following. You know, he's doing his stuff with the blues and creating a brand locally that he can monetize locally, as well as, you know, hop on his website. He can Bud Light or whatever, Snickers. You know what I mean? You're not pigeonholed by your geography anymore because of the internet.
Creating his own way.
Creating his own brand. And the same thing you guys are doing. Not everybody, but there's a lot of people doing it. He's and that's the other thing we talked about when we hung out not too long ago, or a year or so ago, or whatever. Consistently, you got to keep bringing shows every week. You can't fall off. That's the thing people rely on is if you do a show every Wednesday or whatever, they expect that some bitch every Wednesday. And you just, you know, because everyone else is, and there's other people working even harder. So it's like, if you want to create that brand, you got to stay on your shit.
Yep.
Because
like I told you off air, there's an ocean of podcasts out
Yeah,
here.
it is.
A big ocean.
Some I'm like, who the fuck? I'm like, that's it. Well, you know what? That's just not for me. I'm like, that shit looks stupid. But you know what? It's not for me. It's not.
And it isn't for everybody, because I'm telling you, I see cats doing shit. And, you know, I'm not knocking anybody's hustle. Do it if that's what your passion says to do. But it's just going nowhere, and they're kind of talking to themselves about, you know, my cat is sick today, and she's really sick. And there's cat people who are into that shit, but I mean, it's really, that's just kind of masturbation talking to yourself right there. Because, but you get, again, like some eclectic cats. Like this cat's got St. Louis stories. You got St. Louis stories. St. Louis is a fucking huge city in the U.S. That alone could just, you know, with some cognac and some cigars, you could just, you know what I mean? I remember the night where I had
Gran Cru.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Talk about some of them old Nelly's black and white balls and shit, dude.
Oh, we will not talk about those.
I used to shoot those like 3 or 4 years in a row, dude. Those used to get just off the rack. Greatest time, though. Greatest time.
I'll tell you right now, I had a blast at those bad boys.
Isn't it crazy, dude? When I first met you in St. Louis, like the last 10 years, how the club thing changed. Like Pepper's still going, but there's no Lush. There's no. Back when I was shooting, obviously they don't need photographers doing that shit anymore. But back in those days, it was like shit was everywhere.
You caught me off guard too much.
Huh?
You caught me off guard way too much.
Come out that thought.
I was out there.
It was always one of the here, Jeff. Introduce me to. Here, Jeff. Next up, introduce you to. Like, damn, brother. You guys I say he's the Hugh Hefner of the Lou. I ain't mad at you, dude.
No, I was not. I did keep it. Wow.
And I'm not saying that to say that any impropriety was going on. You just always kept yourself in fly company, my friend.
I was blessed. They had me around.
Hey, see, that's how you got to look at it right there, brother.
You know,
I wasn't around them. They were around me.
I was very blessed and fortunate. And you know what?
What happened to the Lou, though, man? What happened in the last 10?
The club scene changed.
Was it Ballpark
the
Village
style-
swallowed it up?
No, Ballpark isn't swallowed nobody. They got no. There's nothing to do with Ballpark at all. I've been there for going on 4 years. At the end of the day, it has nothing to do with that. It's just the club scene changed.
Yeah.
Like, people didn't revolve. Everything changes over 3 to 4 years. You think about it. I first came to St. Louis and I was working at Tasmania. It drifted out. Then the next new hot thing came on. Then you got Bar St. Louis, and you got Rum Jungle, you got Liquid, you got Chaos, you got 1014. I keep naming on and on and on and on.
Yeah.
Everything has a hot streak. Then it balances out. It don't balance out. The age changes. Those people grow up, they move on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's never been an entertainment venue like Ballpark, but it's for baseball. It's
not a club scene per se.
Yeah, they're not pulling it. They're not destroying people. People are not adapting to what's going on in the world and adapting their brand to keep things happening. Because you look at other places like Oyster Bar, still killing it. Other people are still killing it. They're not taking, from people.
It's more just, that's more like, you said Oyster Bar?
Yeah.
That's like live music and shit. So, I mean, I think things have moved to that as well.
But it's all about evolving.
Yeah.
You have to adapt to the new era, the new age, new swing.
People aren't going out like that anymore?
No, they don't go out like that. Like,
I don't have to.
like think about me. Okay, I'm going to use me as an example. Me. Okay, everybody knew I used to be out there doing my thing. I very seldom step out there at all anymore.
I don't remember. This is the first time I've been downtown in a minute.
You gonna catch me? You gonna catch me at the cigar shop chilling with the homies, just relaxing. That's what I'm into.
Right.
I'm grown up. I'm mature.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Once in a while, some of the guys hit me up or something's going on. I step out for a hot minute, or there's a special event.
Check out some of that grown and sexy shit.
Yeah, I pop out for a hot minute, But as far as like being out there and doing, man, come on.
Hell no.
First of all, I got responsibilities too. I have a lot on my plate.
Well, and again, I mean, and I'm not saying whatever. As we grow, evolve, and kind of hopefully elevate our consciousness, our environment will change. Because, I mean, even when I was towards the end of the shooting career, I would be in these clubs and like, fuck, because the energy was just bad. It was a bunch of thirsty motherfuckers out there just, you know what I mean, falling over drunk and just trying to find the next piece of ass or whatever in the club. It was just your, typical club scene 101, but that energy sometimes can be bad, man.
Brutal.
Not to say, because you go to a nice salsa night or something, this energy can be dope as hell, but a lot of nightclubs, you just see them thirsty McThirsties just out there putting it on all wrong, man.
And it's changed. Like the vibe has changed. And it has nothing to do with that one certain element. I mean, you can't fault nobody. It's nobody's fault. It's just evolution.
Yeah,
it really is. Things change.
Everything's changed. Everything changes.
And either you adapt and change with it or you don't. You gotta know you gotta think 5 years ahead of the curve.
For sure.
And that's when I first came to St. Louis. I was 10 years ahead of the curve. And I can say that for a fact because I have all the documents, I have all the contracts, I have everything saved, and you know this.
Right.
I was doing things that nobody else was even doing.
Right.
But I was too far ahead, and everyone was like, what's this guy think he's doing?
Right.
But then 5 years later, 8 years later, here they come it's in.
Right.
But my mind was thought differently. But I'm glad to see people doing what they're doing.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I set that tempo. I don't have to think I did. I know I did because I watched it happen.
Well, I mean, I think more so you kind of embrace an existing kind of entrepreneurial spirit of what you guys are doing now. People starting to recognize, like, man, I don't need major labels. I don't need major distributors. I can create because once the cat got out of the bag and how cats started creating their own brand, people start co-opting that formula. Yeah. And once it's out there, it's like you can just easily replicate it. Like Tony Robbins says, success leaves clues, man. All you gotta do is find out what those clues are and do what you were doing, even back in the day. I mean, that's some Nikola Tesla shit. You know what I mean? I can provide free power for the fucking planet. Like, oh, no. We need to be able to make money off that shit. So it's like, again, a renaissance, man. The cats are ahead of their time doing shit. Those watches, and I'm sure you were into other stuff, but it's like.
Watch is still banging. But it's changed. I've changed with the company. I've found a way to create it where I've adapted it from, how I used to always put it out there. I've kind of revolved it. Like, okay, it's still the Midwest swag, but I just niched it up. Now it has that cigar swag to it. I'm on a bike, and I just changed the format, how I use it.
Right.
I didn't keep it with the females with the Daniels, and I just
now he's copping to it.
No, but That
I
was
feel you.
fun.
You embraced the
That
change,
was
dude.
It was in, but that was hot. What we were doing was it.
Right.
I mean, it was hitting throughout the country. But I was doing the Midwest, and people were feeling it, and it worked. So
Right.
I ran with it. But in time, it all changed. You have to adapt to it, and I think some people are afraid to adapt or are afraid to change.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You still, that's the rip, dude. You still got cats out there pumping, fucking selling DVDs and shit. It's like, whoa, dude, 97 is over, homie. Like putting a bunch of money into stuff that's, you know, flyers and just old school ways to promote brands. It's like, man, with the digital thing now, if you have a following, dude, it's all you gotta do is pump your internet out there, get an app, or pump your website, get an app, or.
And back to what I'm saying, you create that vibe by positive energy.
And keeping your tribe small,
Keeping it, you know,
your circle
we're
small.
talking about all these different things that's going on. We're talking about women. We said whatever tonight. But it comes back to if you keep a positive energy and vision around you and you're locked in what you're trying to do, you're going to shoo away anything trying to come into that energy. If your focus is straight ahead and you're moving forward and you see it opening up for you, you ain't got time to see what's trying to come in because you're still moving forward. So when you keep that energy like that, things pop off. You know, I'm telling people it is what it is.
Yeah,
I could
absolutely.
easily fold it. I'm just a small town country boy from Carlisle, Illinois. I'm nobody.
Clark Kent. There's a little.
No, I'm not. I'm not Clark. I wish I was Clark. But what I'm saying is that
I'm
it's
from
that
Davenport,
energy.
Iowa, dude.
You know, there's a lot of stuff out there. People are like, oh, that ain't popular. Why you like that? Well, it works for me. It may not be what you're about. It may not be your vibe. It may not be your niche.
Right.
That's on you. You know, more power to you. Do what you're gonna do. But guess what? I'm gonna keep it 100 over here. I'm gonna keep doing what I do. You know, and when people gonna tune in, what does Sean, Jeff, and Mr. Boston talk about? And we're gonna touch some people. I'm sure some people will be like, ooh, they start thinking like, wait a minute, maybe they have a point. The point is, I'm not trying to preach to nobody. I'm not trying to make you think and believe in me. I'm just speaking on how I look at things, how I go about things,
Exactly.
and how I perceive things. Like when he asked me to help him with this, I'm like, really? You know, but I've dabbled before. I guest spoke some places. I've said some things to people before, and I got a good hit back off of it. I just don't think I'm that person. But
That's not true at all. You're a
But see, I
huge people
don't-
person, which translates through something like this.
But you know, I didn't realize that. You know, and I still don't. I'm just like, okay, I still get nervous. You know, like damn, at work, I'm looking at all these applications. I'm like, man, I got 16 applications to get processed. You know, then I'm like, okay, I'm getting excited for the cast, and I'm like, oh my god, I gotta make Jeff proud. Okay, don't say something stupid. But no, that's how I think though. I'm like, you know, because I watched Jeff do his thing. I'm like, okay, this is Jeff. Okay, I gotta make this right. You know what I'm saying? I can't be on no BS. But you
I
never,
appreciate that,
I don't
brother.
want like, oh, here I come. You
That's
don't-
not you, though. That's not
Yeah.
you. I'd be like,
You
what's
don't
wrong
do
with
that.
your boy, dude? Why is
Yeah,
Sean acting like that?
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
But people are like that. People are like that out here. You gotta say it to you who you are. You
Fuck
know?
yeah.
You know, and like I'm getting a lot of knowledge. Like your brain, especially in history and your knowledge and how you spit stuff, how you talk about it. I'm like, okay, I got stuff to work on.
I was on We Are Live. I was on We Are Live the other day with Chris Denman and Travis Terrell, and I did what the fuck I do. You know what I mean? Kind of went off on some shit, and it was a little kind of information overload. And it's you know, sometimes, man, it's some people aren't ready for some of the conversations and shit. But again, it's for me. Again, I have my opinion. My opinion doesn't have me, and I say that all the time on the show. That goes back to attachment.
Right.
We're all trying to willing to learn, and so the more you the more you hear, like, man, I completely disagree, but let me think about that for a second. It's civil exchange of ideas without be like, what? You said that? You dumb motherfucking liberal, you racist conservative, whatever it is, however we do it now, it's like, it's all division, and we can't just exchange ideas anymore when, you know what I mean? We've all had those bar experiences, which kind of translates into good podcasts, where religion, politics, where we get in a great 2-3 hour fucking conversation, and we leave. You want another drink, dude? Even though I disagree, you want another drink? You know what I'm saying? That's how it should be, just basic civility, even though we fucking disagree, like old boy Martin said, Martin Luther King. You know, we got to be able to disagree without being violently disagreeable, man. And because we're so attached, because we have so much ego and how we see the world and shit like that, we can't sit back and like, dude, all I know, like Socrates said, man, all I know is I know nothing.
Yes.
And I'm just straight up willing to learn, man. I'm a fucking sponge, and I always have been.
The man that knows nothing knows a lot. The man that knows all knows nothing.
Right.
What's your outlook on all this, Mr. Boston?
Hey man, I'm with it. I'm with it 1,000%, man. Like,
He's still pimping hoes and slamming Cadillac
man,
doors.
yeah, I am, dog. You, man, I do look forward to doing a lot of that. Even though I do have some people, the young lady I do enjoy spending time with, and, like, she's so supportive that I think she be being condescending. Like, are you really supportive? Or you just an asshole? I can't tell. But I'm gonna say you nice because you let me come over and hang out and do stuff.
Well, going back to my man Patrice, dude, and I hate to hijack my man's shit, but I learned so much from this man. If you go to the Black Phillip show, is what it's called. You know, rest in peace, dude's passed away, but the dude just taught like just absolutely so much on relationships. But sorry, yeah, I forgot what the fuck I was saying. What were we saying?
I don't know. Wait, I was
Patrice,
talking.
what the fuck was I gonna say about Patrice?
Talking about relationships.
Yeah, I was talking about having a good one, but still got that hole on to come out of it. You know, you got one you really like, and she dope.
Oh yes. Dudes, and we can. I don't know. I'm speaking for myself. Dudes are just way better in relationships when we are in not in love. And we anticipate the text, the phone call, seeing them. In love, it's like it turns into that. Are you going to the studio again? It turns into that bullshit. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that as a universal rule, but dudes tend to be better with gals when they are in than in love.
You're correct.
Patrice was the fucking
But
man.
not for me.
You
know, it's gonna take somebody special to get near this, because I just don't have time.
Well, that statement could come from, depending on your intention, that could be construed as arrogance, or, I mean, you value yourself, man, and that's what you see.
It's not being arrogant.
No, I know, I understand where your intentions come from, but that could be, someone could be like, man, who the fuck Sean think he was? I value myself. I value my time. I value my fucking energy. You know what I mean? I'm not going to have psychic vampires are fucking real. Like you said about energy and surrounding yourself. You surround yourself with that wrong shit, that shit sucks you dry, yo.
Yeah, I'm not going to just, I never think I'm better than anybody because I know I'm not. But, when you get older, you realize that you don't want to do silly things to be around negative energy. So I'm going to take my time. I enjoy what I do. Like yesterday, I went on a 2.5 hour bike ride. Let me tell you something. My legs paid for it, but it was so much peace. I was out there in that wind.
Shit, so you gotta go back?
No, coming home was a pain.
I was saying
I was hurting. But that's where my inner peace is at. I got out there and I was just rolling. Had the headphones on, got up there, hit that trail, got that road bike rolling, and I was just like in my own little world. That's where you find yourself. That's where you find out who you are. It's that lone time where you can just think.
See, and that shit freaks people out, though. Like I was saying earlier, most people
can't do that
because they don't want to take that self-inventory and find out why they're doing the fucked up shit they're doing sometimes. They just want to keep doing it. Some people don't want to have that self-discussion of, even dusting off some of that old fucked up shit, back in the, whatever kind of childhood shit or whatever, people oftentimes are. Oh, shit.
So Sean was on that bike.
But you gotta be your own person, There you go with that BS. You would play that song, wouldn't you? You would go there, wouldn't you?
I thought that was you. I thought you said.
Yes. See, he's on one tonight. But no, you take out of life what you put into it.
Absolutely.
And granted, I gotta give thanks to, Fred and Jimmy. Let's do our thing down here at Gran Cru. Because we're able to have a cigar talk and chop it up, and they're behind what we're doing, But I just simply ask, like, hey, we're trying to do this. Can we come down here and do some stuff once in a while, blah, 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 see where it goes to? We had a straight table. Now we got a nice little curved table. We got 3 mics. We're sitting there doing our thing, but it's like the next level. So what do we do next? What are we going to go after next? And that turns into positive.
I would say, like I told my boy Pat, dude, we have UFC Hall of Famer Pat Miletich. What's up, champ?
That's my dog.
Dude, I just said, because we have a lot of shit going on right now, man. We just got pretty much access to 11 different radio stations in the Midwest. I mean, we just have a lot of shit going on. And I told Pat, man, like, don't let any of these things just mind fuck us, because all we need to do is just keep doing content. Just keep doing shows. Don't overthink anything. Just keep doing what got us there.
Yeah.
And all that other shit, it'll come. It will just come. Plan ahead. I'm not saying don't plan ahead, but don't necessarily force any issue of like, man, we gotta, whatever it is, don't force it, man. Just because when you keep doing the bomb shit, like you said, people just gravitate to it, everything else will just fall in place, man. And we've been doing this, 3-4 years now or whatever. And it's been a work in progress, man. It's been a slow roll, but again, it's just patience for the process as well.
But you love what you do.
You got it. Fuck yeah,
you
dude.
love what you do. So
oh man,
for me, I didn't think I'd be like sitting here doing this. I look forward to it. I'm like, okay, I'm excited. What's different? What's new? What can I do to help this young man out? What can I bring next? And I have a wide variety of things, content I can bring to it.
And you never know what could come from it, brother. I'm telling you, my first podcast, it's me speaking to you. I had our boy Jermaine Andre on twice, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, CT Fletcher, and so many different cats. This was just me. This wasn't even riding off Pat, because we got a lot of great guests on our new shows from Pat. But just me doing It's Me Speaking to You, I got guests I never in a million years thought I would have got, dude. But it all just started with belief and just building, dude. Because there's a million reasons to not do shit. Or someone said, man, you ain't good. My first episode was Pat. And people were like, man, Pat ain't going to fuck with you, dude. I had Pat on like 4 times. 5 times. After the 5th time, he's like, dude, you want to do the conspiracy farm with me? And for 2 weeks, I'm like, you're fucking with me, dude. Because it was some next level shit for me, because I'm an MMA fan and been a fan of Pat forever. But that spawned the show we do now, Everything Combat. Fuck, dude. I interviewed George Foreman, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? Bruce Buffer, freaking Al Bernstein last week. I listened to Al Bernstein commentate.
You with us?
Huh?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude. But it started with the moment, that spark, dude, of the belief that you can. Because you have a million reasons you can tell yourself, nah, dude, I can't fuck around. Like, I can't be on that level, whatever. This goes back to a great poem. I'm not going to say the whole thing, but it's like, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which frightens us. Yes. And basically, we tell ourselves, who am I to be great? Who am I to have all of these gifts? Our playing small does nothing to serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others don't feel insecure around you. There's more to it.
That's dope. That's deep.
That's what I'm talking about. Building that tribe. Don't
plate. Pass a plate around the congregation. Put the change up. Blow, not the jingles. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
But that goes back to what you were talking about. I'm the same way, dude. I'm selective. It's about quality, dude. It's about quality, not quantity. Because you value yourself. Because you're not willing to play small so others don't feel insecure around you. It's powerful shit, dude.
Yeah.
Can I get a witness?
Amen. Yeah. Can I get an amen? Yes, Lord.
But real quick before we get ready to get up out of here.
Yeah.
I'm going to say one thing. The person who made me, that has really made me well-rounded, is my sensei, Jermaine Andre. He has made me the person I am. He has molded me into this young man, because when he first met me, I was a handful out of control.
Shit, Jermaine was a handful out of control back in the day. Having standoffs with the police with AK-47s and his gal, like, dude, that dude's got a story, man.
And nobody would hire him. I hired him. Nobody ever thought it was crazy. But, that young man's came a long way.
At my first conversation, because I've always just limited interaction, even through you, I was just like, dude.
We're about done.
It's that energy, man. He so exemplifies the energy of a martial artist. You know what I mean? Very, very golden rule. He's out the other night, midnight, handing out tents and stuff. The dude's just a beautiful, beautiful human being.
All right. We got to shut this beautiful show down. We need to have a lot of positive energy and love with Jeffery Wilson from Conspiracy Forum and
Everything Combat. We're everywhere, man. YouTube, SoundCloud, Stitcher, iTunes.
All that.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Sean.
Yes.
Thank you for being a dope motherfucker. Thank you, my man, Mr. Boston.
Yes.
Thank you, crowd, for applauding.
Yes.
And I'll leave you with this. At the end of the day, be who you are. Don't let somebody else make you who you are. Be your own person. Be your own guide. And be your own leader.
And those that can't do some shit will tell you you can't do it. So don't allow people's projection of their own failure. Don't allow them to put that shit on you.
Damn right. Take that to the bank. Cash is finished. Invest in this more. Until next time, this has been Cognac Corner. I am Marcus Boston. And thank you, Jeffrey and Sean, again. Have a good night. Yes.
Marcus, darling. Hey, how you doing? Hey,